Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Griffin here. A little bit of a different video today. No live golf in this one, but wanted to give you guys a little bit of a recap of the qualifier that I played in about a week ago, how it went, some things that I learned along the way, and also say thank you for tuning in and sticking around with us as we've embarked on about halfway through the golf season this year. So we'll get into all that today. So first off, I wanted to say, wow, we're a small channel, but we're closing in on 100 subscribers. We really appreciate everybody that we've got. I think we had 79 at the recording of this video, and hoping to continue to grow this little community of people who are interested in golf or golfers, whether they be in Wisconsin or Minnesota or anywhere. We really appreciate everybody who subscribed and all the support that you've got. We also have a couple of other things that we're trying to test out. We've started to do a little work on TikTok and stretch our legs there. I'll put a link in the description for that, and have been posting YouTube shorts too over the last couple of weeks. I'll put a link above and in the description too to that playlist, so you guys can take a look at that and watch them. Tell us if they're any interest. And if not, carry on and we'll stick to the longer form golf content. We also wanted to ask you guys too, what type of content do you want to see? I'll admit, leading up to this qualifier, I felt like that was a big moment for me during this golf season. We also, as mentioned in the previous video, just had a new child here enter our family in Wisconsin. All is good there with the baby. But now I'm kind of looking for my next challenge or next thing to work on for golf. So wanted to ask you guys, what type of content might you want to see from us? Maybe a what's in the bag. I'm supposed to be getting some new wedges here soon. Was supposed to have them about a month ago, but apparently they're going to be in shortly. So we'll take a look at those, or maybe how I play each type of shot, or over the course of 9 holes, really walking through each one of the shots. Let us know in the comments below. As always, we appreciate your support. All right, so on to the information you're probably here for. And that's the qualifier. So again, just to recap where we were at, we went down to Johnson Park. We were trying to qualify for the Wisconsin State Amateur. This is a tournament that's held every year. There's roughly 10 to 12 qualifying sites that happen over the course of 10 days or so all across the state of Wisconsin. And we were down in Racine at one of the earlier qualifiers that they're holding this year. I think there's still a couple to come by the time that this video comes out. So I had my friend Nick Rint on the bag, a family friend who I actually work at the same company with. Nick's a solid golfer and somebody that I knew I could trust as I tried to work my way around the course. Now, he hadn't seen the course before, but we were using a yardage book and had a rangefinder and felt comfortable, going into the round. My warm up on the range, thankfully they had one after a 50-minute drive, was okay. I hadn't played a ton of golf in the days leading up to the qualifier, something that I would like to change the next time I do it. But we were hitting a little bit of a mixed bag of shots. There were some really solid strikes, really compressing the ball, hitting a nice draw or a nice fade, depending on the club. And other ones that maybe were giving me a hint of some of the shots that were to come during the round. But we'll get into that in a little bit. So we've hit the range for 10, 15, 20 minutes, went over to the practice green, hit some putts, hit some chips, talked about how we wanted to approach the short game for that day, and then it was over to the first tee. I wanted to walk you first though, before our first tee shot, through the game plan that I brought in for that day. And that was to leave the driver in the bag. You've seen in a lot of other videos, I try to leave it in the bag. It's not necessarily a bad shots type of thing that I'm trying to avoid with the driver, but I just know that when I play with long irons, I can get the ball in play. And that was my focus for this round. If I can get the ball into the fairway, my approach shots, and my chipping has been pretty good, but my approach shots have been really strong. I wanted to get myself in a situation where I was hitting mid irons and in some cases wedges in, and long irons were enough to do that. So it was gonna be a day of 2, 3, and 4 irons. And I stepped up to the first tee, which was nearing 600-yard par 5 with a 2-iron in hand, which maybe looked a little bit foolish. And the shot was maybe a little bit foolish too. I kind of sculled one off the first tee, but fortunately it rolled a good, 180 yards forward, and we were in a totally fine position to take 2 additional shots into this par 5. So it was going to be a 3-shot par 5, and that's the way I wanted to play it anyways. Well, I took a 4-iron on my next shot and topped it. And that was a little bit of an omen for what was going to come the rest of the round. Over the course of the next 17 and a half holes, I ended up shanking, topping, or sculling 16 shots. That type of golf has been out of my system for at least a decade. And yes, a shank or a top or a skull, like that stuff happens. But 16 during an 18-hole round of golf was crazy. I have to tell you, as I was reflecting on the round immediately after, I didn't think that it was any nerves. And so I was trying to figure out, well, what was it? And I honestly still don't know today what it quite was with the swing. But I can tell you, as I stood over my long irons and even, 6-iron in some instances, I felt a little bit lost. So we ended up after 18 holes shooting a 91. Comically bad, if I'm being honest. I haven't shot in the 90s or frankly over like 85 in quite some time. So it was a bit of a humbling experience. And needless to say, we did not make the cut to qualify for the Wisconsin State Amateur this year. It was a very reasonable score that made it on the day. It was +3, and as I look back on my practice round, I certainly could have done that. It just really wasn't meant to be. And I won't chalk it up to say, well, there's 16 shots that I could have got back there. Maybe I could have had, 10, 12 of them that would have saved me some strokes. And of course, that would have given me new opportunities to have success or failure on approach shots, or even maybe save some putts around the green, because I had a few 3 putts there. But it was a little bit of a frustrating day, to say the least, but one where I can reflect and look back on and sort of smile and say, that's hopefully just a once in a decade type experience. So again, 91, very comical and embarrassing score, but that's what you're going to see. You're going to see the good and the bad, and we really want to just make this a golf channel that is for everybody, and that round of golf was certainly one that felt like it could have been anybody out there that day. Thanks again for subscribing to our channel. Leave a comment, like, subscribe, whatever it may be, engaging with our channel. We'd love to hear from you. If you've got your own golf stories, feel free to share them in the comments below. And we'd love to get out there and play with you sometime too. So if you want to leave your email address or reach out to us, feel free. And if you're in the Wisconsin or Minnesota area, I'm sure Brady and I would love to get out there with you. Thanks again for watching today, and hopefully next week we'll be back with some content from the course.